Only 15 minutes every day, and I took my design skills from somewhere down here up to somewhere around here. Now if you do this, I guarantee you'll become a far better designer for it. Now I have 3 different things that if you do as a creative person, and I assume you're a creative person because you're watching today's video, but as a creative person, you just need to do one of these 3 things for 15 minutes every single day. Not every day, but most days. You can switch and alternate which of these things you do, but the first one might actually hurt you a tiny little bit, because I'm going to ask you to do something that most designers don't even think about. And that is to dig out some of your old work, either from your college work or your client work, and then write a short critique report on that work. Now, what would I want to do at such a thing like that is probably what you're thinking right now. Firstly, if you do this, it shows to you how far you've come as a graphic designer. But importantly, it allows us to look at our design weaknesses and how we can actually build and improve on those weaknesses. But also it teaches our brain to notice the flaws in our own graphic design work. You may also want to redesign some of your old projects if you do have enough time. And this is just to really test how far your design skills have come along and matured with time. But yeah, this means looking back to 5, heck, even 10 years and finding those projects that you're now ashamed to show anybody else. And you need to write down why these projects suck and what would it actually take to improve, and change these designs for the better. So here's a quick example of how I took a design from way back in my past and then just spent 15 minutes on it. The 3 main issues I identified were a lack of simplicity, poor typography, and an unideal layout. So for the layout, as you can see here, the original design, you have a very elongated kind of rectangle style. But I wanted to create something more stacked, so it's optimized for mobile and small screens, and a layout that pretty much fits into a square. Then to address the lack of simplicity, I just removed those useless dots and I pulled the symbols that spell where together in a more compact way. The logo type in the original design uses a generic sans serif typeface, but instead I contrasted the kind of urban and modern logo symbol with a robust and serious typeface of Alio. Now I really like how this new logo type works with the logo symbol in contrast, and sometimes this approach does not work on a logo, but here I think it really does work. And again, this is just 15 minutes and it's a good way to teach your mind and your eyes to identify problems and see fixes on a design. The next thing that you can do for 15 minutes every day that's truly a powerful thing, and is something that will make the inner designer that's inside all of us much stronger. Now I like to do this one in the morning because it can kind of double up as a warm-up design exercise. But yeah, take a random brief from somewhere online, maybe one of those free brief websites, or you can make up your own brief, and just bash out a really quick design in 15 minutes flat. But here's why this is such a powerful thing to do as a graphic designer. Giving yourself just 15 minutes to design something really does get those cogs and those gears turning up here. And it is such a nice way to start the day as a graphic designer because it is just a creative step in the right direction. Now I made this poster a while back simply by generating the image in Midjourney first and foremost. And then I started to play around with the typography in different ways and different formats. Making quick design decisions on layout, style, typography, and so on really does train your mind to work under pressure and work really fast. Something any employer is going to admire within you. You don't have to use an actual brief, you can just, do something for fun that you have in mind, or something that just takes your creativity to a new place. And that can be a really nice break away from the client corporate gigs that we have day in, day out. And working on things like that just often feels so good, and it does spark the enthusiasm or the creativity or inspiration that we do need to go back into our work. And here's the secret tip as to why this is so cool. Some of the 15-minute designs you make will actually be decent enough to use in a portfolio, maybe to post on social media to grow your presence online and on social media platforms, or as a template for your client work in the future down the line. The next thing that you can do for 15 minutes every day is often nice to do during lunchtime or towards the end of the day in the evening. And that is simply to browse over some case studies. Case studies are essentially reports on how a design project has gone and why the designer or designers did what they did. But why should we even care about case studies? Case studies are the epitome of a successful project, And if you can learn why a project was in fact successful and how the designer or design team overcame problems, you can then apply that knowledge to your very own projects. Also, you can see what the client specifically wanted from the designers on said project. These mini 15-minute exercises will 100% set you aside from other graphic designers. Most people don't think about these small things that will improve and boost their skill sets, their mindset, and just their awareness as a designer. And so if you have gotten this far in today's video, firstly, congratulations, but it also means that you're someone who's taking their career as a designer really seriously, and you are going to do those extra things that will put you up to the next level. But why stop there with the personal growth and education in graphic design? If you want to learn some really cool tricks when it comes to designing, just click the video on screen. And until next time guys, design your future today. Peace.